Hi, I'm Matt Debski.
And I'm Ying Gonikman.
We're both parents in the Belmont Redwood Shores School District. My two sons are at Ralston, and they came up from Central. I'm also the current president of SchoolForce.
And I am the former SchoolForce president. And my kids are at Ralston and Carmel now. And they started at Sandpiper. And gosh, that feels like a lifetime ago. One is already a sophomore.
So, Yang, you've been doing this for a long time. I bet you get the same question I do constantly. Where does the money for our schools actually come from?
Oh, yeah, all the time. In the parking lot, at drop offs, it's the number one question that gets asked.
Right? Let's just talk about it. Because the real question is who's actually funding our kids' education?
Well, it sounds like such a simple question, but it actually is not.
Yeah, it's really not. The excellence we see in our schools, it doesn't just happen. It's a partnership. So let's break it down. Basically, our funding comes from two totally different buckets. The first one, the big one, is public money from the state and the federal government.
Right. And that's about 85% of the district's whole budget. And that 85% covers all of the absolute must-haves. Our wonderful classroom teachers, the core curriculum, keeping the lights on in the buildings. Well, basically the minimum standard for an education in California.
The bare minimum.
Exactly. So if that covers the basics, why are we always talking about fundraising?
My favorite topic. Here's the deal. State funding just hasn't kept up at all. It really all goes back to 1978 and Proposition 13.
Oh, yeah. And that cap property tax. It is great for homeowners, but not so great for our schools.
Exactly. And since property taxes were how we paid for schools, that cap just dramatically changed how California could fund public services. You fast forward today and get this. California, one of the wealthiest states in the country, is 40th in the nation for per student funding. 40th.
It is wild and it's so hard to accept. But actually gets worse when you look right here at our home.
Hmm.
Our district BRSSD actually gets about $2,000 less per student than the already very low state average.
Wait, so say that again. We're below the low average?
Yep. And that's so sad to hear, right? We are one of the lowest funded districts in all of San Mateo County. Think about that. We live in one of the most expensive areas in the entire region, but our schools are funded at one of the lowest level. It's just so completely counterintuitive.
Yeah. So the basics the state provides, they're just not good enough. They're not what our community expects, and they're not what our kids deserve.
Nope, not even close.
Which brings us right to that second bucket, local community support. When the state money isn't enough, and it sure isn't, our community has to step in.
And that happens in a couple of ways. There's the local partial tax, which is really amazing. A lot of that is paid for by households that don't even have kids in our district, which just goes to show how our entire community really cares about our schools.
It really does. And then, most importantly, there's us, parents. We have to step in through parent donations to SchoolForce. And I really want to stress this. This isn't extra. It's not a bonus. It's essential.
Yes. And this is the money that elevates our schools from basic to excellence. It is basically what our students really need every single day.
So let's talk about that. You were president. What does $3 million a year SchoolForce raises actually pay for?
Okay, so think about it in chunks. Well, the biggest chunk, about 37% of it, funds credentialed teachers and staff that the state does not really pay for.
Like who?
Well, our reading specialists, our librarians, the school counselors, and the SEL, which is the social emotional learning support. Science teachers for the fourth and fifth graders. These are people our kids really rely on daily.
Wow. Okay. So what else?
And then the next big piece, about 18%, is for dedicated music and art teachers, their curriculums and supplies.
So music and art, that's SchoolForce?
Yeah, a huge part of it, yes. Then another 11% goes to STEM coaching and innovation grants for teachers where they get to be creative in their classroom and lots of classroom technology.
And how about the rest then?
It's almost everything else you see at school, right? Like some PE teachers, all of the field trip, classroom supplies, and more.
And what about funding for PTAs?
Oh yeah, all of the PTA activities are funded by SchoolForce. Well, and also they are powered by PTA volunteers. We definitely need them in our schools.
So here's the bottom line then. When you add all of that up, Parent and community donations fund over 40 additional teachers and staff across all 7 of our schools: Central, Cipriani, Fox, Nesbitt, Redwood Shores, Sandpiper, and Ralston.
Yes, so 40 people. Those are people that really make a difference in our kids' learning experience every day.
So when you zoom out, it's all clear. Our schools need both funding sources to work, and the state provides the core.
In our community, us, the parents, we provide the enrichment, the support, and the innovation.
Exactly. Excellence isn't automatic, and we can't take it for granted. It's a partnership. Neither of us can fund the full picture alone.
Well, that's basically the takeaway, right? It's the combination that allows students to truly thrive.
Thanks for chatting, Ying.
Thanks, Matt, and thanks to everyone for listening. Stick with us. Next time, we're going to share what's new and exciting in our science classrooms.